let's talk about something you think you know, astrology. We're going to peel back the layers, get past the daily horoscopes, and really look at its roots as this incredible system of cosmic wisdom. And you'll see why it might just be more important now than ever before. But first, to really get this, we need a little perspective. We have to zoom out, way out, and get a sense of our actual place in the cosmos. And honestly, the scale of it all is, well, it's just staggering. Okay, let's start with a number. 400 billion. That's the rough estimate for how many stars are in our home galaxy, the Milky Way. Our sun? It's just one of them. Not special, not unique, just one little light in a sea of 400 billion. But hang on, because that's just our neighborhood. When you zoom out further, astronomers estimate there are literally trillions of other galaxies out there in the observable universe. Trillions! We're not even a grain of sand on a beach. We're a speck of dust on a single grain of sand on an infinite beach. Now let's think about time. This is what's called the cosmic calendar. So imagine the entire 13.8 billion year history of the universe is shrunk down into a single year. The Big Bang happens at midnight on January 1st. And humanity? Well, modern humans don't even show up until 11:59 and 46 seconds p.m. on December 31st. We get 14 seconds of the entire year. And all of our modern technology, our phones, cars, the internet, that all gets invented in the very last second. Blink, and you miss us. So when you're faced with that kind of scale, it forces you to ask a pretty deep question, right? If we're so small and our time here is so short, what's the point? Well, ancient wisdom has an answer: consciousness. We are the universe waking up and looking at itself. And that makes our tiny, brief moment unbelievably important. And to understand how our ancestors tried to connect with that huge cosmos, we've got to look at what astrology was in the beginning. Because let me tell you, it was a very serious and respected science. For thousands of years, this wasn't some fun little thing you read in the back of a magazine. It was a rigorous, high-stakes science. Kings and rulers used it for statecraft. They made critical decisions based on it, like when to plant crops to feed their people, or even when to go to war. This wasn't guesswork. It took years of tough study, a deep understanding of math and astronomy, and it was seen as a tool of immense responsibility. So how on earth did we get from that to what we have today? Well, the shift from this profound wisdom to what is mostly just entertainment has been, frankly, a huge corruption of what it was originally all about. And this chart kind of says it all, doesn't it? What was once a tool that guided entire kingdoms has been watered down to social media posts that, a lot of the time, just create fear and anxiety. Instead of empowering leaders, it can make people feel dependent and confused. It's a total flip. So what's the solution? We can't go back in time. The key isn't to reject our modern world, but to build a bridge, to reconnect that deep, ancient wisdom with what we know today from modern science. And this is where things get really, really cool. Look at these parallels. On one side, you have ancient philosophy, and on the other, modern quantum physics. The ancient idea that everything is connected, that sounds a whole lot like quantum entanglement, where two particles can be linked across vast distances. And the idea that the observer affects the observed, that's literally the observer effect, a cornerstone of quantum mechanics. It's almost like these ancient thinkers intuited these deep truths about reality that our science is just now starting to prove with math. Okay, so that's the big picture, mind-bending stuff. But what does a renewed, responsible approach to all this actually mean for you, in your day-to-day life? What's in it for you? Well, the benefits are super practical. It's all about self-awareness. It helps you finally spot those repeating patterns in your own life. So when stressful stuff happens, you can learn to handle it with a sense of calm instead of just panicking. It can be a tool to guide your own family with more clarity, to become truly independent of what other people think, and to just live more in sync with the natural flow of things instead of constantly fighting it. But to get there, you have to learn it the right way. It's not about just memorizing a bunch of rules. You've got to understand the why behind it all. It's about seeing life as a set of probabilities and potentials, not as some fixed, scary prediction. And most importantly, it's a tool for self-knowledge. The goal should always be to empower yourself and others, never ever to create fear or make someone dependent. And here's the amazing part. Our modern world can actually help fix this. Technology isn't the enemy here. It can be a huge help. Imagine using AI to find deep patterns in massive amounts of data, or using VR to actually fly through a 3D model of the solar system. These tools can bring a new level of precision and take out a lot of the old guesswork.
So this mix of ancient knowledge and modern tech, it puts us at a really unique moment in history. And you know what? That comes with a pretty profound responsibility.
At the end of the day, power without purpose is dangerous. We have a duty to pass on real wisdom to the next generation. Things like patience, understanding timing, personal responsibility, not just powerful gadgets and code. If we only give them the tools without a wise way to use them, we're setting them up for failure. And this quote really gets to the heart of it all. The original goal was never about trying to control your fate or getting rigid predictions about the future. It's about understanding the natural rhythms and patterns of life so you can navigate them with more awareness and skill. It's about preparation, not prediction. Which brings us right back to where we started. Here we are, in our tiny, brief little second on the cosmic calendar. We have a choice. We can let this ancient wisdom scroll past us as just another piece of entertainment, or we can use it as a powerful tool to understand ourselves and our place in this vast, incredible cosmos. The choice is ours, right now. What will you choose to understand?